I am seeing faculty members and I am seeing students as well. And becoming a part of this lecture is such a pleasure for me. Really, I'm grateful. I'm extremely grateful because I will get to share something that I know, that I learned throughout my years of experience of working as a leader, and at the same time also delivering wisdom, knowledge um, in this afternoon in your time there in India. Can you imagine? I'm currently in Saudi Arabia and all of you there are in India. It is really such a pleasure. Okay, so I guess I will have to start with our presentation because this is quite a lot. So just in case, just pay attention to everything that I will tell you, the words and the wisdom that I will be sharing all throughout this presentation. And if in case that you can't hear me, just give me a signal that you can't hear me because I will make it in full screen. Okay, so let me start the presentation now. So the title of this presentation is Encouraging the Heart, an Essential Leadership Skill for Nurses. Because in the beginning, I am thinking on how am I going to present the topic. Because when you talk about leadership, leadership is such a huge topic because there are many different leadership models, there are many different leadership styles. But I guess I will have to focus on really the essential leadership skills. Okay? And really not delving and focusing on like I mean the traditional leadership models and style. I will not be focusing on that because I will tell you we are now in the 21st century and nurses nowadays need to be more dynamic, needs to be more agile, needs to be how can I say it, to become a part of what we call global citizens. Okay, so let me walk I want all of you to walk through a journey with me within this presentation. So I will tell you before I formally start really the presentation, I want to talk to you about the story that I have when it comes to leadership. I will tell you when I was in the Philippines, I was in a in a state of, should I say, rock bottom. Like I'm in a state of confusion. I really do not know what to do with my career. I really do not know what to do with my life, honestly speaking. And it came to a point that I had to make a decision to go to another country. And believe it or not, going to Saudi Arabia is really not a part of my plan. Okay? But the good thing is, when I came here in Saudi Arabia, it became, something that is transformational for me. Okay? It became transformational. So it means, really, me coming here in another country and experiencing the ups and downs of my career, of my leadership journey, really made me to become the leader that I am today. Okay? So a part of becoming a leader or being a leader is you need to have grit. Okay? Because later on we will talk about, we will talk about a glimpse of emotional intelligence. And a part of learning emotional intelligence is really having grit. It's like when you are in a difficult situation, if you are in a different kind of challenge, if you are experiencing adversities, if you are in a state of depression, you really need to have the bravery, the courage, and the determination despite those difficulties. Okay? So becoming a leader or an effective leader or a strong leader is really to have the emotional intelligence as well. And that's a part of it. Another thing on your leadership journey, because most of you here are still young, you are still students, I will tell you a part of you becoming an effective, strong, and a powerful leader is really for you to get to know who you are. You really need to understand who you are. You really need to be in that journey of exploring yourself to dig on a deeper level of getting to know who you are. All right? For you to become the type of leader who can always bring yourself to the table. Okay? And another thing is kindness. Okay? You might be wondering what am I talking about this afternoon. Really, what I'm talking about is actually or are actually my core values. Okay, because honestly speaking, when I am attending different kinds of events, whether it's virtual or face to face, I always want to talk about what are my core values instead of really talking about my accomplishments or talking about my role. You got me? Because I really want to bring myself to the table. So in here, kindness is very important to me. A part of my leadership, a part of my leadership journey is really me treating everyone with kindness. And I will always try to bring myself to the table. And what is that? Bringing myself means kindness because this is something that I have learned from my parents growing up. Okay? And of course, this one, it means gratitude. It means being grateful for the blessings that you have. It means being grateful that in spite of having to face many different challenges in your life, you still have the ability to bounce back after anything. And not only that, I mean seeing the good things around you. I mean, because when you are kind to the people around you, it also emits this positive energy of being grateful. Okay? So before I begin the presentation, I really had to talk about these core values because I will talk about authentic leadership. As I told you, we will not be focusing that much on a particular leadership style, but really more on the basics or essential basics on how you can all become a leader. Okay? So let me just read to you this quotation. You often feel tired not because you've done so much, but because you've done too little of what sparks a light in you. Okay? So as a leader, you have to understand that it's very important that you need to be intentional. Okay? When you are a leader, you need to be intentional, meaning when you do good things to others because you are innately good. Because internally, you are a good person. Okay? So these are just some quotations that might give you some inspiration. By taking care of myself, I have so much more to offer than offer the world than I do when I am running on empty. You have to remember that a part of leadership is taking care of yourself. You will not be able to pour from an empty cup. If you are empty, if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't practice mindfulness within yourself, it will be very difficult for you to serve others. So before serving others, before leading others, you really need to understand the importance of self-leadership. Okay, so let's talk about the learning objectives for this session. So we will be examining the core elements of the concept of leadership, discuss the characteristics that effective leaders possess, describe exemplary leadership practices, explore selected contemporary leadership models and styles. So we will be focusing only on the contemporary ones. Okay, we will not be discussing autocratic, democratic, and all this kind of stuff. Explain the pillars of effective leadership, and describe ways to encourage the heart of others as a leader. Okay, so what does leadership mean to you? How I wish we are in a live audience because I would really be asking you this question. Like, what does leadership mean to you? Especially if you are still a student, okay, who really do not have that much experience yet in leadership because leadership is such a broad domain. Leadership is such a broad topic. Okay? How I wish I could see you and really ask you all these questions about what does leadership mean to you. I think it's better to just look around beside your seatmate and ask them this question, what does leadership mean to you? Okay. So let me give you some definitions before we go through. Leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that impact lasts in your absence. Okay? The most effective and powerful leaders are impactful. So meaning, if they are absent, the absence can be felt. You can really feel that there is something missing. Okay? If that person or that leader is missing in a particular organization, for example, it can easily be felt. Okay? Leadership is the capacity to create a compelling vision and translate it into action and sustain it. Successful leaders have a vision that other people believe in and treat it as their own. So a strong leader or leadership is the capacity to create a compelling vision. So meaning you have a vision. You are forecasting what you want to achieve. You are forecasting what you want to accomplish. So a part of the leadership definition is leadership is the art and science of engaging people in envisioning and enabling the creation of a preferred future. So, meaning, as a leader, when you are a leader, you need to have that vision. Okay? Leaders have vision. Okay? That's why, if you are in an organization, typically you have strategic plan. Okay? And that is because you are forecasting of what you would like to achieve in the future. So you have to remember, a leader or leadership, you have a compelling vision, you have a vision, and you are enabling others with you or to be with you in the boat, okay? To run that boat and have all these people to achieve that preferred future. Okay, so we're still on the basics. So, wait, let me upload the slide. So what are the characteristics? What are the effective leadership characteristics? So I already mentioned about vision, right? Influence. Okay. Influence, I will tell you, it's not probably, should I say, easy for others to influence, right? Because if you will get to ask me from my own personal experience, you really need to have ways and means to learn personal development. Okay? You really need to learn how to deal with people, to communicate with people. Okay? You really need to be patient. You got me? Another thing is empowerment. When you empower, it's like when the person or another person talks to you, have this feeling that after talking to you or having a conversation with you, they really felt good. Okay? And communication. Communication is actually one of the most important um, or one of the most, should I say, powerful and strongest effective leadership characteristic. Okay? Communication, especially if you are working in a multicultural environment. And I bet that maybe some of you in the future will be working in another country. Okay? A part of leadership, you really need to know how to communicate in a way that you will be understood. But on the other hand, you will be more inclusive. Okay? Because I will tell you, nurses of the 21st century, you need to treat yourself to become part of what we call the global community or to become a global citizen. So in the future, if you will learn communication, not only basic communication, you also need to learn how to become inclusive. Okay, when you say inclusive, it's like how to communicate with people who are different than you. Different not only in race, in culture, but also different in, with the way they think. All right. And that would be a challenge for sure. If you will be going in another country in the future, in the beginning, it will be a challenge, right? Because especially different ways of different tone of voice. For example, like if you will go to Middle Eastern countries, there are some countries also with the way when the way they communicate, their voice is a little bit loud, right? So sometimes you might feel offended when someone is talking loudly. That means. All right. So another effective leadership characteristic is actually collaborative, genuine, and healthy work environment. So let me just explain this quickly, these words. Collaborative is being or have the ability to work with different, not only healthcare professionals, but as I mentioned a while ago, collaborative in the sense that communicating or collaborating with people who are different than you, not necessarily different in terms of professions, because if you work in the hospital or if you work in a healthcare facility, you will be working with nurses, you will be working with medical doctors. So you need to know and understand what interprofessional education is, okay? So that you know your role, you know the role of the medical practitioner, you know the role of the pharmacist, Okay? So that is being collaborative. Being collaborative means also understanding how other roles function. Okay? Being genuine. So this is quite of a challenge. Being genuine. Okay? This is something that I want you to learn, my dear students and colleagues in India right now. Sometimes they will say it's difficult to become genuine, right? Because as a leader, I need to show myself in a different light. I need to show myself that I am strong. Okay? So sometimes there is a connotation that if you are expressing your emotions, you are weak as a leader. Okay? You have to remember we are already in the 21st century. We are already in the 21st century. Okay? What we need nowadays are leaders that are what? Leaders that are more emotionally intelligent. Leaders that knows how to become vulnerable in front of their team. Okay, for example, me, I have challenges. If I will be talking to my team, do you think I can express my emotions in front of my team? I can, right? But you can only do that selectively. We call it selective vulnerability. You can be vulnerable. You can express about some of your challenges. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you are a human being. Aside from the fact that you are also a nurse. Okay? And effective leadership characteristic also reflects in the healthy work environment. Okay? A strong leader knows how to make the environment more healthier, knows how to make the environment not only, let's say, example, you are a school, making the environment healthy for the students, the faculty members, and everyone in the organization or in the institution. So I just would like to let you know that that's a part of an effective leadership characteristic. I want to share something to you as well. Okay, this is actually done out of so many research that has been done through the years. Okay, this is actually exemplary practices according to Kuses and Posner. Okay? This is one of the most strongest and most popular, okay, and most, should I say, well-researched exemplary leadership practices. According to Kuses and Posner, exemplary leadership practices including modeling the way, inspiring a shared vision. I will try my best to be close here on the microphone so that you can hear me well, okay? So here, what I'm talking about are exemplary leadership practices according to Puses and Foster, okay? This is one of the most strongest and well-researched, um, how can I say it, well-researched material in terms of leadership, okay? So according to Puses and Posner, there are five. Okay? Exemplary leaders globally have five essential exemplary practices and characteristics. Okay? So I mentioned that already. Model the way, inspire the shared vision, challenging the process, enabling others to act, and encouraging the heart. Okay? So I will give you a few examples here. Just a few examples because as I told you, this is quite a, I hope that you will be able to meet the time. These are just some example, task of leaders. I will not be discussing all, but I will be selecting, for example, representing the group. Okay. If you are working with a group of people, okay, you are their representation. For example, I am a Filipino. Okay, let's say I'm a Filipino nurse. Okay. And if I will be working with a group of Filipino nurses, okay, I can represent them. I can represent my team. Okay, but representing a particular group doesn't only limit to your nationality, for example. It can also involve representing a lot of how can I say? It can also means representing other nationalities with the same values. Okay. Another example is I will not be explaining all motivating. How do you motivate people? Okay, according to John Garner, these are some tasks of leaders. So motivating, how do you motivate? Of course, you motivate based from your own personal experience. And again, it will all entails the emotional intelligence, right? When you motivate, it's because it's an inner drive for you to push another person to see the good things in them, okay, for them to be able to become effective in their role, right? Again, let me continue again. Leaders are oriented towards the future, societal architects, comprehensivists and gifted generalists, okay, integrative thinkers, educators and developers, trustworthy, credible, and ethical. Okay? I'll be explaining a few, not all. Okay? Let me just explain some words from here. Trustworthy. Okay? If a leader, okay, should know and should have the ability how to trust in his or her team. Okay, and how are you going to do that? It's like nowadays in contemporary society and in contemporary workplace environments, when you are trusting a colleague or a peer, or let's say your coordinator, or let's say your vice VP, you got me. A part of giving your trust is also giving them autonomy. Okay, it means that you let them think and make the best decisions that they can be, that they can do. All right, and this is really a means that you can distinguish between a leader and a manager, because sometimes there are people who are more into control, too much control. Okay, and control is different from autonomy. Autonomy is really letting the person exercise leadership. Okay, exercise leadership um, within his or her capacity, using his or her own skill sets. Okay? And not really too much controlling like that. Credible. Okay, when you say credible, okay, how can you, why do you think credibility is important as a leader? Right? When you say credibility, you model the way. Okay? You walk the talk. Okay? Sometimes you need to be very careful when you are delivering promises. Sometimes you need to be very careful with your words, because sometimes the words can be taken against you at times, right? So, being credible, being a person of credibility means being consistent with who you are and being consistent with your values, right? For example, I cannot be kind today and then tomorrow, like for example, in 1 week, I am kind during Monday only. Okay, Tuesday until Sunday, I'm moody. You got me. What will be the image of the people around me when it comes to my leadership? You got me. People will think that you are what? Angry all the time or moody all the time. So a part of credibility is consistency. You need to be consistent. If you are a good person, if you are a trustworthy person, if you are a soft-spoken professional, you need to be very consistent with what you show up. Okay? That's why it's very important to be authentic and always bring yourself to the table. And not everybody can do this. Not everybody can bring who they are to the table. Alright? So it takes a lot of, how can I say, it takes a lot of experience, okay, and wisdom for a person to develop that level of credibility sometimes. Okay, because we're just human beings, you got me? We are not perfect individuals and professionals. Okay, so let's talk about ethical leadership characteristics also. When you say ethical leadership characteristics, this is in lieu or an integration of ethical principles as a leader. Okay? So as a leader, you need to understand justice. For example, you need to be fair, not necessarily 50-50%. For example, when you say fair, if you give another person, you will also give another person. Not necessarily like that. Sometimes you really need to negotiate. You really need to communicate in a way that you can be selectively vulnerable by explaining also some of the challenges that you have. That's why you came up with a particular decision. Right? Because sometimes when you make a particular decision, not everybody will like it, right? You got me. sometimes when you make a decision, not everybody will say yes to it, right? And you want to be fair to all, okay? The goal is to be fair to all, but not 100%, because I will tell you, in in any workplace, there's nothing, there's no word as perfection, okay? So you have to remember that that's a part of justice. A part of justice is really giving everybody a chance to express, to speak up, to share their ideas, you got me? And not necessarily 100% to give them everything that they want. Okay. Respect for others, honesty, humane. Okay. You have to remember, in reality, we as nurses should be humane. Okay. That's the reason why we are in a caring profession, in a helping profession, right? Okay. I remember when I was still in college, way back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there's a question that is always asked. Okay. Why did you took up nursing? This is the first question. And some of the students will say, because I want to serve humanity. Okay, I will tell you, when I was young, when I was still a student, really I want to go to the US, I want to earn more money. But believe it or not, as you mature, as you gain more wisdom, and as you learn more about life, for me now it's different. If you will ask me what makes me happy in terms of my leadership, I will tell you, what makes me happy now is helping others. Okay, so that's why I am typically involved in in volunteer activities. Okay, I will be in the Philippines in 2 weeks, and then we will be going to a shelter for abandoned elderly. Okay, and we will be having an activity there. A lot, if I can just tell you all my activities. Okay, so it's basically, how can I say it? Helping others makes me happy. Okay, so we have our own journey. We have our own, how can I say it? Life. You will come to a point of really making a decision about what you want in your career and what you want in your life. Okay? Because I will tell you, there are people who are leaders, but there are people who are also leaders that are intentional. Okay? So meaning they bring themselves to the table. Focus on team building, value-driven decision making. When you say value-driven decision making, it's like, um, you always bring value. Okay, you can bring value, and when you are making decisions, they are, let's say, evidence based. Okay, and something that will really translate into different means of bringing value. Okay, value in terms of impact. It can be value in terms of monetary incentives. You got me? There are many different ways. Encourage initiative and no tolerance for ethical violation. I will tell you, this is really where you will distinguish a leader and a manager, between a leader and manager. A leader, if you spot something is wrong, or something that is unethical, or something that, that hurts another person, or something that hurts another group of people, it makes you uncomfortable. Okay? And you really want to advocate. You really want to help. You really want to do something for them. Okay? So that is being ethical as a leader. When you see that there are people who are being abused, do you think you will like that? Right? Do you think you will like seeing other people being abused? Right? So you have to remember, especially for the students here, when you become a registered nurse in the future, always keep in mind the importance of going back to the core of nursing. Okay? What is our one major core principle? Caring, right? Okay? So what does it mean? It means we do not only take care of patients, we also take care of what? Ourselves, okay? So that also we can take care of others. Not only patients, also our colleagues, also our boss, also the people around us. Okay? So I will tell you, you will always go back to that core principle that caring is our core principle or main core how can I say it, element that is in nursing. Okay, so when you become a registered nurse, you don't fight with your colleague all the time. You don't bully your colleague. So basically, you have to always go back to the main core principle of nursing. That is caring. Okay. So now I will tell you, you know what leaders are good at? Critical thinking. I will tell you, leaders, if they have a lot of information in their head, like so much information, they know how to organize that information. They know how to organize that information. Thinking about lots of things at any given time is multitasking. But the ability to be able to take all that information in, reorganize that, and spit it back in an organized fashion, that is leadership. Okay? Especially if you are involved in accreditation. If you are involved in accreditation, I will tell you, you are organizing a lot of things in should I say, not only logical, but also, I will give you a tip. Leader nowadays, you should be more agile. Okay, when you say agile, flexible, always ready. Okay, that's why when COVID-19 came, okay, they need a lot of leaders that are agile. So meaning you can make a decision quickly, right? Because I will tell you, leadership nowadays doesn't require logical thinking alone. Sometimes you need to think convergently, divergently, laterally. So meaning you can go, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can go 1, 4, 3, okay? And then step, let's say 6. You got me? You're flexible. You are doing things in a different way, in a different fashion, but coming out of a strong and similar outcome. Okay? But the way of doing it is different. Okay? So sometimes you need to be like that. That is what we call lateral thinking. Okay? Especially your generation. Your generation, especially the students here, your generation is different. Okay? You need to be in a place, for example, that will stimulate your creativity, or else you will get bored. Okay? So, okay, so another thing here, let me continue now. Okay. So here, what leaders do? Have a vision, clearly articulate the vision, inspire others to join in to make that vision a reality, to orchestrate change, to manage ups and downs, to develop and renew follower. Okay, another key about leadership. True leaders develop leaders. Okay, true leaders develop leaders. Okay, if you are a real leader, if you're a true leader, you know how to transfer your information to others. You do not feel threatened. You do not feel intimidated. Okay, that's why as a leader, you need to be what? Emotionally intelligent. You need to be secure with yourself. You need to be secure with who you are. You need to be secure on what you bring to the table. Okay? So that when you transfer that experience and information to others, you feel happy and fulfilled. Okay? So, let me continue. Okay. Vision with action makes a powerful reality. Because you cannot just make a vision, you cannot just dream without taking an action about that dream. Okay? This is just some of the quotation that as a leader you need to always remember. And this is one of my most favorite one. Okay? A true leader, okay, have this mindset that we rise by lifting others. When we are lifting others around us, when we are helping the people around us, okay, and it makes us happy, then I can say that you are a real, full-blown true leader. Okay. So let me just quickly mention to you some contemporary because I want to focus about the effective leadership models and styles. Transformational leadership. Okay. I will tell you, my dear students and my dear colleagues here, in magnet organization, if you go to America, if you go to other countries, they are seeking for magnet accreditation. Okay, magnet accreditation is a testament of excellence in nursing service. Okay, so when you go to another country, it's the blueprint, as they said. And the type of leadership that they employ is transformational leadership. Okay, transformational leadership fosters creativity, risk-taking, collaboration, empowers workers, okay, promotes independence, growth, and change, converts followers to leader through shared value, trust, and honesty. How I wish I have more time to explain all of this, but I'm just giving you a glimpse of what is this. Okay, next. Your life purpose is to use your own personal transformation to help transform society. Once mentored by another, you can now mentor others. I will tell you, I did not become the leader that I am today without the people who helped me. Okay? I became the leader that I am today because there are leaders who mentored me. There are leaders who helped me. You have to remember, a part of your success as a leader is seeking for the support of another leader or seeking the support of your mentor. Okay? You have to remember, this is an important part of your journey as a leader. Okay? Okay. What about shared and connective leadership? Shared and connective leadership, I will try to make it simple for you. It's like this. Let's say, when you say connective and shared leadership, you are giving an opportunity for the first line people to make decisions. Okay? But how are you going to do that? I'll give an example. Let's say you have 8 units in your organization. Okay? Each unit have a team of people around them. Okay? Have a team of people around them. Alright? And each team has a team leader. Okay? So basically, the team leader, okay, serves in the board or in the council. So meaning all the voices will be heard. It promotes collaboration and teamwork, assumes the organization contains many leaders, and members get an equal share in the decision making. Okay? Next. Okay. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. Okay. I just want to mention this, servant leadership. To be a great leader, one must be a servant first. And this is according to Florence Nightingale. Not everybody is a servant leader, I will tell you. Okay? Sometimes, okay, it takes a lot of experience. I will tell you, I will tell this to you, I consider myself as a servant leader. Because me, serving others makes me happy. Okay? It makes me fulfilled. Okay? So not everybody can be a servant leader. Okay? I will be giving you a copy of this presentation also. I will be sending it uh, to Dr. Mahalakshmi later so that you can benefit from this content as well. Okay. Traits of servant leaders: communicator, open-minded, critical thinker, self-directed, exhibits humility, emotional intelligence, and connects relationship. Okay, I just want to mention this, This is because this is very important. Exhibits humility. Okay. Since you are students still, okay, if you will be given an opportunity or a chance to lead, okay, in the future, if you will be given an opportunity or a chance to lead in the future, especially to our students here, okay, you should always exhibit humility. Okay? If you are given a position or a role, okay, you need to maximize that experience by doing something good. Okay? It's not that when you are given a position and then you are what? Arrogant. You are, how can I say it? You feel you are the queen of the universe. Okay? So you have to remember, exhibiting humility, being humble is very important. Okay? Okay. Always use your voice. Okay? Very important. Okay. If serving is below you, leadership is beyond you. Okay. One of the most important characteristics of strong leaders of today is having emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to use your emotions effectively. Okay? And it is critical to building a cooperative and effective team. What are the elements or the five components of emotional intelligence? Number one, self-awareness. You need to know yourself. Okay? And how are you going to know yourself? For example, someone gives you feedback and you get defensive. Do you think you will get to know who you are if you're always defensive? All right? You should be or you should know how to absorb and take feedback constructively. Okay? Because I will tell you, getting to know who you are is really being open. Okay? On what you need to do. Self-regulation, this is the thing. This is the most important. Okay? In stressful situations, let's say in stressful situation, do you know how to calm yourself? Do you know how to self-soothe? Okay? Do you know how to manage your emotions in stressful situations? If someone shouts at you, do you shout at them back? You got me? If someone gets angry and mad at you, are you going to be angry and mad as well? You got me? All right. So, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Okay? I told you, emotional intelligence alone, okay, is one topic, is one workshop. All right. So, I will not be dwelling too much on this, but I really wish that I will be given a chance to explain this further to you. Okay. Being soft, okay, both soft and strong is a combination very few have mastered. Okay? You should know how to balance your what? Your rational, logical thinking and your heart. You should know how to integrate both together. Okay? It cannot be that it's always rational thinking without the heart, right? Okay? Sometimes, okay, for you to be able to build connections with people, you need to use the heart. Okay? Because if it's always the mind, I will tell you, a lot of people will get mad at you. A lot of people will get mad at you. Okay. Okay, we're about to finish maybe 10 minutes. We will be finishing already. Okay. So here, authentic leadership. This is what I want you to know. Authentic leadership is what is extremely needed, okay, in contemporary society. Okay. The glue that holds together a healthy work environment. Okay. What do you think is different from other leaders to an authentic leader? An authentic leader brings themselves to the table. Okay? They are strong. They have strong credibility because they stick with their core values, who they are. They bring who they are to the table and they are fearless. They are unapologetic. Okay? They know and they cannot easily be affected by external energies because what? They know who they are. Okay? They know who they are. They have the self-confidence because they have experienced a lot of pain in their life that transformed them to become, okay, authentic. Okay? These are the leaders that you see talking about their stories. Talking about their stories, talking about their life, influencing people. Okay? So I will tell you, I am more of an authentic leader. If I will tell you my story, you will learn a lot from it. Okay? Authentic leadership, I will tell you, authentic leadership suggests that in order to lead, the leaders must be true to themselves and their values and act accordingly. What are the characteristics or the traits? An authentic leader have a purpose. Okay? Have a purpose. What's your purpose in life? If I will ask you now, what can you and ask yourself now, what is your purpose or what is your life purpose? Okay. Exhibit self-discipline, link purpose and values, establish relationships, lead with your heart and ears. You listen and you use your values in making decisions. And typically, authentic leaders knows how to create healthy work environments. Okay. Never perfect, but always genuine. Authenticity is about being true to who you are, even when everyone around you wants you to be someone else. Okay? Okay. Healthy work environment. The reason why I want to integrate healthy work environment because authentic leaders are good at this. A work setting structured in such a way employees can achieve personal satisfaction. So, how do you create it? Employees are treated respectfully. There's a strong trust between management and staff. Persuasive communication and collaboration. Employees feel safe. So meaning, employees are not afraid to speak up, not afraid to express themselves. Okay? So this is a type of environment that is more open. Okay? More open to emotional conversations for call. Okay? And I think this is, we're almost getting to the near end of the presentation. Strengths-based leadership. Strengths-based leadership is divided into four domains. Okay? How are you going to utilize strengths-based leadership? For example, I'm the leader. I will I should know my team. I should know who's good at execution. I should know who are my team members who are good at influencing around them. I should know my team members who are good at building relationships. I should know my team members who are good at thinking. Okay. Can you imagine grouping them all together, okay, and bringing them in one room, okay, and getting the benefits of it? That is what we call strengths-based leadership. Okay? So, we're about to, okay, serving and knowing yourself as a leader. Okay? It is a job for everyone. Each of us needs to take a mantle of leadership. This is not a job for only selected few. It is not limited to those in positions of authority. You have to remember, you do not need to have a formal authority or a position for you to become a leader. Okay, so this is actually the last part of our talk. What are the four pillars, okay, of leadership? Principles and values are timeless. I will tell you, sometimes it feels good when you are working and you can bring yourself, your values, and your purpose at work, right? Can you imagine that you can stand for something and make your position on what you value unequivocally and clear by your action? So meaning, when you go to work, you bring yourself your values, you bring yourself your purpose, because this is what you learn. This is what you learn from your parents. This is what is taught to you by your mentors. You got me? Dare to disrupt is the next pillar. When you say dare to disrupt, sometimes you need to make some changes and you need to be strong, powerful on how to make that change. Okay. A part of disruption is that even if a lot of people doesn't want, like for example, or resistant on a particular change, okay, a part of really disrupting something is really doing something that even if a lot of people don't like it, okay, but at the end of the day, you know what will be the impact of it, and it will have a positive and strong impact. It will like make a transformational change. So you stick to it as a leader. Find a way to get in trouble, but good trouble and necessary trouble. Be prepared to speak up, speak out, and be courageous. When you see something is not right, not fair, not just, you have a moral obligation to get in the way and make some noise. Okay? Align with others who inspire you. Sustained change requires persistence and resilience in navigating the often tortuous path to change. You cannot go with it alone. You have to remember there's no successful person without a lot of people on their back, on their sides, in front of them. All right? So it's always very important to seek support. Okay? And listen also to the people who are more experienced than you. Very important. And also listen to the young ones as well because you will get a lot of value to it. Legacy matters. If I will ask you now, you are still a student, what legacy you want to leave in the world as a nurse, right? What kind of impact you want to leave? to the world. You know, I will tell you a story now. If you will ask me now, I want to contribute to society. I want to help children who are abused. I want to help mostly the elderly who are abandoned. You got me. But I have this kind of thinking because I experience it myself, right? So I experience being abused as a child. So, but I did not let that experience um, disheartened me. Okay, so now it became my advocacy. It became my advocacy. So I really want to help children who are abused, who are in need. You got me. So sometimes you really need to think of who you want to become. If I will ask you that question, what kind of leader you want to become in the future, right? Do you want to become a leader who is always seen as angry, who is always seen as complaining? Okay? Of course, you do not want to be seen that way. You want to be seen as a leader who knows what he or she wants. Okay? All right. And then, okay, these are just some self-assessment tools. Okay, you can click these links. I will give it to Dr. Mahalakshmi later. You can actually do your own surveys. These are surveys. Some are paid, some are free. So just try to take a look at them. Okay, because anyway, you can use these resources. Okay, this one. Okay, if you want to know how good are your leadership skills, you can use this tool. Trusted leader self-assessment. Okay, leadership self-assessment tool. You can do all these things. Okay, so these are just some of the resources that you can use that I will be giving to Dr. Mahalakshmi later. Also, the PowerPoint, I will be giving you a copy of the entire PowerPoint. No worries about that. And before we end this talk, I just want to leave some very powerful words. Okay, the more intentional you are about your leadership growth, the greater your potential of becoming the leader that you are capable of being. So never stop learning. So I will tell you, my dear students and my dear colleagues, a part of your growth as a leader is really becoming intentional into it. So meaning, you do not do it because someone wants you to do it. Okay? You take a step, okay, to learn, to develop, and to mold your leadership skills because you want to become a leader. Because you want to make an impact and you want to create change. Okay? So never stop learning. Okay? Do not let yourself be stuck. Okay? It's always that we should create opportunities for ourselves. Okay? For ourselves. Right? So we are the one creating our own life. We are what? We know what self-leadership is. Okay? So a part of that is really never stop learning. Okay? Continue learning. Believe me, that's what I did. I never stopped learning. So, for you to be able to create the impact that you want in society, then never stop learning. And this is the last one. And one of my most favorite one. Okay? Always remember that uh, you are alive. Okay? As a human being, okay? As a person, okay? You have to remember that all of us as human beings, we have the ability to light up any dark place. Okay? Like Florence Nightingale. Remember Florence Nightingale is the lady with the lamp, as they said, right? So as a leader, if you are a true leader, any place that you are walking through, it can be a bridge, it can be a road, okay? All those roads or bridges that you are walking in, you should always bring that light with you. Okay? And also, never let anyone, any person, or any force dampen, dim, or diminish your light. You have to remember that there is no perfect journey. There is no perfect life. Okay? But one thing that you can do is always try your best to use all those challenges, all those pain, all those adversities for you to be able to become more resilient, to develop your own tenacity, to stretch yourself so that the next time, if you are stretched, it will be easy for you to handle. Alright? So always remember, never let anyone, any person, any force dampen him or diminish your light. If someone tells you that you are not good, okay, do not believe them. Okay? Always look first within yourself. Try to evaluate what the other person said about you. Okay? Because you have to remember that there will always be that hero and light inside of you. Okay? That needs to lighten up. Okay? So thank you very much for this opportunity. This is actually some of the references here. Okay?